Well, good evening, everyone. From Memorial Park in Laconia, I'm Pete Barker, along with Kevin Conley and the rest of the crew here for New England Cablevision Channel 12. As this is an historic moment for the Farmington High Tigers, playing in their first Classium baseball championship game, their first championship baseball game ever. They won in tournament baseball for the first time ever this season, Kevin, and the crowd has come out to support it, and it could be quite an evening here in Laconia.
A very large crowd. This baseball club of the Farmington Tigers transferred Farmington, at least for a short moment, from a basketball town into a baseball town, as they got a large support here, and they've done it by defeating three pretty good clubs. As Mike Lee's here, and he still claims it's a basketball town, however. But for the time being, they have a large support here, and they defeated Newport 2-1 on a no-hitter by Aaron Hagar. He'll be pitching in the championship game here tonight, so they've got some strong pitching throughout the whole tournament. They had a two-hitter by Brian Furlan as they beat Interlake 7-2. Interlake's ranked 14th, and then to make it to the championship game, they defeated Franklin 6-1 behind a one-hitter by Joey Vachon. So they've allowed 3 hits through their 3 tournament games so far, and that's what's done it for them, Pete.
It certainly has. We understand Mike has changed that to saying they're tied right now. So the enthusiasm is up, as we certainly can see here for Farmington. And it has to be for Messinic, too. We understand the crowds. These are the 2 teams in this Classium tournament who have brought the biggest crowds in, and it certainly looks like that here tonight, so it's going to be an historic evening for somebody.
It certainly is. Messinic got here by beating John Stark, the 12th-ranked team, 11-1 in the opening round. Then they defeated St. Thomas Aquinas 4-1 in 8 innings. Rob Bolduc got the win. Jason Govin got the save, and Jason Govin then got the victory against Guilford 6-2. Guilford came in ranked 8th. So they've had some pretty decent pitching as well, giving up 4 runs throughout their 3 tournament victories. So it should be a fairly well-played game, and both teams are capable of hitting the ball.
And as we said, an historic moment here probably coming up in a couple of hours is the Farmington Tigers' first Classium baseball championship game ever, first baseball championship game ever against the Messinic Vikings of New Ipswich. And we'll be back with the start of the game right after this. And we're just about to start here at Memorial Park in Laconia. Once again, I'm Pete Barker along with Kevin Conley. We got Greg Burns on one camera, Ryan McGargan on another, and Paul Mannion and John Rodenhouse manning the truck tonight. And certainly unexpected for us, Kevin. We didn't say at the pregame to be here. We never had any idea we'd be here in Laconia, and I don't think the Tigers had either until a week ago Thursday.
Now, they started their quest last Thursday for the championship route, and they made it here with some great pitching. Aaron Hagar doing the pitching tonight.
And Scott Blackie Smith, the catcher for the Tigers, will lead it off against Rob Bolduc, the starting pitcher for the Messinic Vikings.
Rob Bolduc got the win against St. Thomas in a 4-1 8-inning victory. He has a lot of junk on the mound.
Strike 2 called by, Bob Chabon, the home plate umpire tonight. Frank Du Bois at Dover. We've seen Frank enough times this year in Spalding telecasts at first. And David Grandia is over at third. There's a bouncer 2 shot. A play to first is in time as Jason Govan, the shot stop for Messinic, took his time getting the ball out of his glove and threw Smith out at first.
Govan, one of the top players in this Messinic team. He has done some excellent pitching for the squad, and he's played excellent shortstop, especially against St. Thomas, and coming in this game, he's one of their top players.
Bring up John Thompson, the junior third baseman. This whole situation has really taken the Farmington community by storm, and they're up here in force. Thompson, the third baseman, lines it, rips it foul down the third base line.
They call John Hammer. Swings a pretty heavy bat up there at the plate.
I can see why right now. Aaron Hager, the pitcher, will bat third. Ted Healy at first is the cleanup hitter tonight for the Tigers. And Rob Dione will be in right field. Larry Sylvain in center. Darren Martineau at second. Scott Wilbersmith is the left fielder. Brian Furlan is the shortstop.
There's only 2 seniors on this Farmington club. Ted Healy, the first baseman, and Rob Dione.
Pitch in the dirt, gets away for a ball. Gets away some Sven Anderson, the catcher, who will be the leadoff hitter for Messinic when they come up. So only 3 hits allowed by the Tigers, as we said up top, in 3 games. That's tremendous. And there's a drive hit down deep, foul. And that was a pretty deep drive into foul territory. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are they calling it a fair ball? Now Frank Du Bois is out there.
And they call it a foul ball.
Okay, they did call it a foul ball.
He just wanted to take his run around the bases.
That's the first time I've seen a batter do that. He takes the bait, goes all around. A foul home run for John Thompson. We have heard that this Farmington bunch really likes to have fun, I guess, from what we've been reading and everything. First time we've seen them this year, but we want to thank sponsors, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the half inning when we come back up when we can. Sponsors that came through in a pinch to support this game on New England Cablevision. Fouled off at the plate. Ball was clearly foul. I thought I was seeing things, though, when I saw Thompson running out there. I said, have I lost it?
They do like to have fun. They came in very fired up in the dugout as soon as they came off the bus. They're loose. They play loose, and they show it throughout the tournament.
Well, there's a building, as you can see, out in back of the field fence. And Thompson swings and misses for strike 3. 2 up and 2 down for the Tigers against Rob Bolduc, and that will bring up the pitcher, Aaron Hager. Hager, of course, pitched that no-hitter against Newport in that 2-1 opening round win, and had quite a basketball season for the Tigers. Almost won them a first-round game, but didn't turn out that way, unfortunately. A tremendous comeback that I can still remember. He lines one back through the middle for a base hit. So the first hit of the ball game comes from Aaron Hager, and the Tigers have a runner on with 2 down, and here's Ted Healy, the first baseman.
Hagar takes that first pitch, goes right back up through the middle. Pitch out towards the outside part of the plate. Hagar, a strong kid, lines it right back up the middle.
Rob Dione, the right fielder, on deck if Healy should get on. Hager, of course, a junior, as you mentioned, only a couple of seniors, and Healy being one of them, I believe. Would you say Healy and Dione were the two seniors?
Healy and Dione, the 2 seniors. Healy first base, Dione right fielder. They return their 3 excellent starters for next year: Aaron Hagar, Brian Ferlin, and Joey Vachon.
You can see the fans have even out in left center field. They've got them all over the place here tonight. They're actually coming in lawn chairs to our left here. We're in the press box. I want to thank Paul Sautek, the tournament director here, for helping us out. And the people in the press box, including his son, we want to thank everybody. It always takes cooperation. We want to thank everybody for helping here, and along with our sponsors, we might want to mention him, Kevin Shotley here, in between pitches, and a drive going over to left center, and a nice catch out there by Eric Thibault, and that's going to end it for Farmington. They get a hit, they leave a runner on, and as we go to the bottom of the first, no score between Messinic and Farmington. Ready to go here, Shotley in the bottom of the first inning, as the Messinic Vikings will come to the plate. And Kevin, our sponsors.
Farmington National Bank and Cameron's Home and Garden Center, the 2 primary sponsors, and we have other sponsors such as Mary's Place in downtown Farmington, Ernie's Gas and Tire, Osgood Pharmacy, and Bolaway Lanes.
And we want to thank them, and we'll thank them again for coming through right away. This all came about on Thursday as they won that game up here, and the support has just really been rolling for the Farmington Tigers.
Now they have a large crowd here to play in front of. They have Aaron Hagar, who pitched that no-hitter in their opening round victory against Newport in a 2-1 win. Really their only tight game throughout the playoffs. They beat Interlake 7-2 and Franklin 6-1. They faced Newport, who was 11, Interlakes, who was 14, and Franklin 10. So this is their first team not ranked in the double digits coming into the tournament.
For the Messinic Vikings, Sven Anderson, the catcher, Jason Govan, the shortstop, and Rob Bolduc, the pitcher, will be the first 3 batters to lead it off against Hagar. Now, Farmington Tigers, a team that surprise, I suppose, if you would look early in the year at Class M contenders. Well, they wound up number 6, so all the others are gone. So they really, I don't think anybody would have expected them to be here, but that's what the beauty of tournament play is. It happens more than often that the team peaks at tournament time and everything comes across.
The top 4 teams were eliminated: Hollis, Littleton, Belmont, and St. Thomas. So you have the 5 and 6 seeds in the championship round.
Pitch comes inside and low on Anderson. Anderson is a senior, as we have a strike call.
Farmington does have well-rested pitchers. They've used the 3-man rotation.
And a little looper going out to center field, coming over actually to left center was the center fielder, Sylvain, making the grab.
Nice catch by Larry Sylvain. The ball tailing away from him with the lefty batter, slicing it towards left field. Ball not hit deep into center field, so he had a long run, and Sylvain uses his speed to track it down.
Here's Jason Govan. One up, one down here for Messinic as the pitch comes inside. On the last day of the New Hampshire spring tournament season, as a little pop, a little looper to second, 2 down. Grabbed easily by Darren Martineau. 2 up, 2 down for the Messinic Vikings of New Ipswich. That will bring Rob Bolduc to the plate.
Hagar staying mainly with the fastballs. He has a good tailing fastball, rides into the right-handed batters.
Bolduc, who can also play third base, is a senior, according to the program provided by the New Hampshire Interscholastic Athletic Association, commonly known as the NHIAA. Chris Tebow, the first baseman, is on deck. Strike call. The rest of the lineup will consist of Lee Strout in left, Peter Moorman at third, Dan Elston in right. Josh Cavalier in second. Cavalier and Eric Tebow is the center fielder.
Breaking ball is missed twice by Hagar. He's kept it high and inside, not really getting a lot of break on it, but his fastball has been tough enough to retire the first 2 batters.
3-1 the count on the batter, Bolduc. And the delivery way up high, ball 4. So a runner on for Messinic with 2 down here in the bottom of the first. They'll bring up Chris Tebow, the first baseman.
Now batting the first baseman, Chris Tebow.
Tebow also a senior. Pitch outside, a little bit high. Hagar gets the first 2 batters, then ran into some control problems.
Ran the count to 3-1 before losing Bolduc. Needs to stay ahead of the batters.
On the pitch, strike call. Of course, Hagar hasn't pitched in over a week. Actually, what, probably
Last
9-day
Thursday.
rest or 8-day rest. But that was what happens when you have pitching depth and the desire of Coach, David Wims, to go with the rotation. He stuck with it during the season, and he says he's going to stick with it now, and gets a 1-2 count now as a swinging strike by Tebow.
Hagar just got that ball by Tebow there, came with the fastball, and Tebow never caught up with it.
And the delivery swung on and missed, strike 3. And 1 runner gets on, Rob Bolduc on a walk, but Chris Tebow strikes out swinging against Aaron Hagar. And we go to the second inning, no score between Messinic and Farmington. And That's what we have here. The FHS Tigers, the Farmington High School Tigers, as our directors have given us a crowd shot, and there's part of the crowd here, and that's not anywhere near what is here. Anybody interested in faces out there?
See, Farmington crowd, whether it's no matter what sport it is, they just generate a lot of enthusiasm through themselves in their sporting events. They treat this baseball game like a basketball game, going wild in the stands. Usually during baseball time, you only see some occasional clapping, but the Farmington Tigers get into their sports.
Here's Rob Dion, the right fielder, who played a good supporting role for the Tigers and Mike Lee this year in basketball. Very excellent supporting role. Takes a strike. Dion, Larry Sylvain, the center fielder, and Darren Martineau, the second baseman, will be the first three hitters in this inning against Bolduc. And the pitch fooled him on that one.
He's fooled him on 2 curveballs.
That thing broke off a table. Looked like it was a little high if he hadn't gone for it. And the pitch tried to go outside part and low, couldn't connect.
Surprised Bolduc came with a fastball there. He'd fooled Dion on 2 curveballs. Thought he might try to stick with that curveball again.
And he did that time. Struck him out swinging. Now bring up Larry Sylvain here with 1 out in the top of the second inning. No score. Classium Championship baseball action for 1991 in New Hampshire, as the Farmington Tigers ranked 6th with a 15-5 record now, facing the Messinic Vikings ranked 5th with the exact same record. Messinic from New Ipswich. Some of these players, I think, including Bolduc, were on the Class M basketball team that was runner-up to St. Thomas this year, a game that I was fortunate enough to see.
Perhaps they got some revenge factor back when they defeated the 4th-ranked St. Thomas Aquinas 4-1 in 8 innings.
Yes, they did.
Earlier in the tournament.
1-1 the count now on Sylvain. And here's your delivery. And he goes for a high pitch and pops it up into foul territory. Third base side, and it's caught by the third baseman, Peter Moorman. Had a little bit of help from his partner at shortstop, Jason Govan. Looked like that pitch was out of the strike zone. He went for a high pitch and just got under it.
Bolduc's keeping that curveball high and tight. Usually pitchers like to break it off low and keep it away from the batters, but he's keeping that ball, the curveball, inside and tight, and that's where you can get into some danger area. If you keep it high and get it over the plate, that's when the batters can really tee off on it.
Pitch goes outside for a ball. This is Darren Martineau, the second baseman. Martineau, a sophomore. Sort of holds well for next year with only a couple of seniors on this club, but you never know. You get some confidence, and tournaments are a funny thing, though, as we all know. You have a good record, sometimes it doesn't mean anything. Strike ball.
Sometimes it takes a couple of key breaks throughout a tournament to survive. When it's single elimination, then the littlest plays can really change a ball game. Farmington came in ranked 6th, maybe surprised a couple of teams, but they did have the luxury of playing a couple lower seeded teams, 11th, 14th, and 10th ranked teams.
Well, that helps, but I mean, we've seen teams who are top rated lose to the number 8 team, so you still got to do it when you get out on the field. 3-2 the count to Martineau, and here's the delivery. It's line, fair ball down the left field line by Martineau, chasing it down into the corner, circling for it. He's going to go to second, and he'll hold up with a stand-up double. The left fielder, Lee Strout, had all sorts of problems. He was going to be running it down for days.
He caught a 3-2 fastball near the inside part of the plate, lined it down the left field line. Nice piece of hitting by Martineau.
Now batting the left fielder, Rover Smith.
Going down the left field line, as Strout had a long run, couldn't cut it off, took a tough angle at it, then when it bounced off the fence back towards center field. Martineau had a double the whole way. The only way they were going to hold him at first is if they cut it off, which Strout couldn't do.
Pitch rides outside on Scott Wilbersmith, the left fielder.
There's that breaking ball that Bolduc's keeping up in the strike zone. When he gets back towards the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, even 2, 3, 4, and 5 hitters, he has to be careful to keep it not so high in the strike zone.
Had him out in front that time. Thing about the two Smiths is that they're both Scott Michael Smith. They're both juniors, so they had to pick up nicknames. Mike Lee during the basketball season, and was able to get used to it after a while. Different numbers. Comes inside, goes for an inside pitch, foul down the third base line. So a 1-2 count on Scott Wilbersmith with Brian Ferlin, the shortstop, the on-deck hitter. If Smith should reach. Smith is batting number 8 in the lineup. Anyway, I'm looking at the camera work that's going on our monitor, Kevin, and it's excellent.
Very good camera work by Ryan McGargan and Greg Burns.
And swung on and missed an inside pitch. And the Tigers leave a runner at second. They get the 2-out double by Darren Martineau, but he cannot score as Scott Wilbersmith strikes out. And we'll go to the bottom of the second inning. No score between Messinic and Farmington. And the look of the crowd, and almost saw us in the press box, maybe. I'm not sure. I guess we're hidden sort of behind here, but that's the crowd you've got here at Memorial Park in Laconia. Is Lee Strout is leading it off for Messinic, the left fielder. Strout, Peter Mormon at third, and right fielder Dan Elston will be facing Aaron Hager for certain here in this inning. 2 hits in the game, both by the Tigers. No balls and 2 strikes.
Good fastball again on the inside part of the plate. Strout a little late with the swing, and Hagar gets ahead of the count, 0-2.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Lee Strout goes down swinging for the first out of the second inning, and he's shaping up as a pretty good pitcher's duel, Kevin.
We expected that with the type of pitching both teams have had coming into this ball game. 3 hits allowed total by the Farmington Tigers through the first 3 games of the tournament, and 4 runs surrendered by both teams. Make it 4 runs for both teams. 2-1, 7-2, and 6-1 victories for Farmington. And Messinic Regional has allowed 4 runs on their part as well, making it to the championship game.
Peter Moorman, the third baseman, takes a strike called from Hagar. And he goes fishing that time, strike 2.
It's the best breaking ball Hagar's thrown so far. He's kept it high and tight, got that one out towards the outside part of the strike zone and broke it outside.
And the pitch, strike 3 called. Caught him looking on a pitch on the outside corner.
Hagar struck out 3 in a row now.
2 swinging and 1 call, that last one, as it brings up Dan Elston, the right fielder.
Now batting the right fielder, Dan Elston.
2 outs. Nobody on for Messinic here in the bottom of the second inning before. There's no way of really estimating this crowd, but I don't know. If you said 300, you'd be anywhere near the ballpark. You might be 500. You never know. It's tough to tell.
You have a large crowd in front of the press box and going down towards the dugouts, and then you have them scattered down the left and right field lines and into the outfield.
That you do.
Hagar dipping sidearm somewhat when he comes with that breaking ball now. Gets a little better rotation on it and gets a sharper break.
I think the New Ipswich area and Farmington might be considered somewhat ghost towns right at this moment.
Most of the residents of those 2 towns are here watching the Class M championship game.
Of course, we've been to basketball games in Class M as a strike call where you've had well over 1,000 people in the stands at Plymouth State College. So they're small towns, but they bring everybody out. And the pitch rides up high for a ball.
Excellent 1-2 pitch there by Hagar. Comes with the fastball after he's thrown a couple of breaking balls to Elstow.
And just misses on the outside corner. Full count now to Elston. 3-2. Here's Hagar's full count delivery. Little grounder to shot. They'll play it Furlan to first, and 1-2-3 inning for Aaron Hagar and the Farmington Tigers. And as we go to the third inning, no score between Farmington and Massenic. And we're here in the top of the third inning. Class M baseball championship action for the state of New Hampshire, 1991. This is it for the 16-team Class M field, and the Farmington Tigers are here, along with the Massenic Vikings. And for Farmington, leading off the top of this inning, the third will be Brian Furlan, the number 9 hitter and the shortstop.
One hit in each inning so far for the Farmington Tigers. Both have come with 2 outs, so it's been kind of a late rally they've tried to stage. After Furlan, they'll come around to see Bolduc for the second time, and I suppose the bat should come alive a little more.
Foul down to the third. Public address announcer tonight is Brett Sautak, the son of Paul Sautak, who is coaches the Mariconia American Legion team, and also was instrumental in starting the Northern New England Semi-Pro team out of Laconia that the Rochester Cardinals play.
That season getting underway now with practices, and this season should start shortly.
I think, as a matter of fact, they've already played a few games.
Have they actually played games?
Yes, I believe. As a matter of fact, I think they started Memorial Day. They get started earlier. So, not too much publicity, you're right. They have started, but good for the people over the age of 18. Swing and a miss on an inside pitch, and Furlan goes down swinging. That's the 4th strikeout for Bolduc. Brett has been helping us with some of the names and the pronunciations of the players. We're up here in the press booth with him, the 3 of us, so it's kind of nice here. A little bit of a breeze, and back of the crowd as Scott Blackie Smith up to the plate, grounded to short in the first inning. So runs are really being hard to come by here tonight.
So our hits so far, 2 in the ball game, both for Farmington. Wind blowing from right to left field. Pretty steady breeze.
Get one out there in left center. That ball is really going to take off, I would think. It's supposed to drop down a little bit. It was a beautiful day in the New Hampshire areas. Temperatures, you can feel it dropping down a little bit. Very, very comfortable. 1-1 the count on Scott Blackie Smith. And the pitch. Like he was going to try to offer, but pulled back. 2-1.
Bluffs had a couple of bunts there, 2 pitches in a row.
Up high for a ball. Count is 3-1 in favor of Blackie Smith. Bolduc, 4 strikeouts. And 2 hits allowed as it's fouled back to the screen.
Count runs full at 3-2 now with 1 out.
On deck hitter is John Thompson.
We haven't had a base runner with less than 2 outs yet in the ball game.
No, we haven't. And a ground ball slowly to the right side. Bolduc will have to cover first. He does in time. And Scott Blackie Smith is retired. So first baseman to pitcher for the second out in this inning. That will bring up the third baseman, John Thompson, who struck out swinging in the first inning.
Thompson hit a ball a long ways in that first inning, fouled down the left field line. He shows he has the power. And why they call him Hammer.
Well, he did his home run trot on a foul ball. Don't think we'll see that again. Well, you'd like to see it again, but this time you want it to be fair. So the Hammer is at the plate. 0-1, and here's the delivery. 1 ball, 1 strike is called by Bob Chavone. Chavone, Frank DuBois, and David Grundy are the umpires tonight at home, first and third, respectively.
Thompson taking some time outside of the batter's box. Shadow starting to cast now as they're almost reaching home plate.
Pitch up high. See a balloon that has been here, one of several that I think it's a Messinic balloon, is floating up over the third base area and is going to be long gone pretty soon. Here's the pitch, low and inside for a ball.
2 batters in a row that Bolduc has got behind in the count, 3-1. He battled back and got a tapper to the right side by Blackie Smith.
Pitch, strike called. See, that one was going to drop in there in the outside corner neatly. Well, this is the day of championship games, both softball and baseball in all classes, as it's fouled off. Seems like it ends so quickly, doesn't it? But this year May certainly been a lot warmer than it was before, so it seemed like a better season to do ball games in than previous years.
The sporting teams had an excellent month of May for the weather, and there really weren't a lot of rainout games. We did see some trouble as the tournament started last week. We had some rain Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So some teams did get canceled and had to carry over.
They even had one quarterfinal that had to be played on a Sunday because of the rain on Thursday. And the pitch is, wow, talk about being fouled off.
Fouled off the mask of the catcher Anderson and over the backstop.
Certainly evidence for a mask. That's why you have a catcher's mask on, and the umpire's mask also. And the pitch coming in, he tried to be a little bit too fine, and he walked John Thompson. So again, the Tigers, for the 3rd straight inning, have a runner on with 2 out.
Now batting the pitcher, Aaron Hager.
Here's Aaron Hager. The pitcher, the 2-out line single to center in the first, but he was left stranded.
Following Hagar, Healy hit a shot to center field. A nice catch was made by T-Ball there, so Bolduc almost got in trouble in the first inning after issuing a base hit with 2 outs, but he escaped damage in the first 2 innings, and he's going to try to escape here. But you have the meat of the order coming up for the Farmington Tigers with Hagar and Healy.
Those were the 2 hardest hit balls of the game for the Tigers. Go to first. Farmington around, and Dan Place, as a matter of fact, who we saw in basketball a few years back.
Was their point guard. Well, we have a chance. We'd like to thank the sponsors again, Farmington National Bank and Cameron's Home and Garden Center, our 2 prime sponsors, along with Mary's Place in downtown Farmington.
And a pick-off, as I say, as the runner is hung up, and he'll be out. And that's unfortunate as Hager's left at the plate. That's going to end the 3rd inning for Farmington as they get a runner on, but he gets picked off and run down. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Farmington nothing, Messinic nothing. All right, we're here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, as we have Messinic and Farmington here in Class M baseball action. And And we had an unfortunate thing for the Tigers in that half of the inning.
They had 2 outs, and Thompson drew the walk, and then he gets picked off with Hagar at the plate. He was breaking towards second as Bolduc went over to first base. Took 3 throws, and then they tagged Thompson in the rundown to end the inning. So again, Bolduc escapes damage with 2 outs and putting a runner on base.
Now, the one good thing, the positive about it, Hagar and Healy will be the first 2 batters of the next inning. And right now, speaking of batters, it's Kavala. Josh Kavala, second baseman. Kavala, right? Well, it's Kavala. I'm sorry.
We'll get that one straight.
Kavala. Brett Sawtick will get us straight on it, if anything, but it's Kavala. Josh Kavala, the second baseman for Messinic, leading it off. Kavala, according to our roster, is a freshman. Well, they're playing him young over there in Messinic. Well, Mormon also was a freshman, the third baseman, so a couple of youngsters playing there, meaning they've obviously developed enough to play varsity baseball. Pitches a strike. Eric Tebow, the center fielder, on deck. And he's a senior. So it's Josh Kavala, the second baseman, leading it off against Hagar. Swing and a miss. 1-2. No hits through 2 innings against Hagar, so he's got a pretty good streak going.
He's pitched 9 consecutive innings now in tournament play without a hit.
A ball. 2-2. Fans wanted that one, but I think it was a little high.
Excellent 1-2 curveball. Hagar's curveball does not drop much. Stays up in the strike zone. Comes sidearm with it.
And strike 3 call that time. You got Kavala looking.
Hagar over Nick team. Picks up his 4th strikeout of the game. He struck out 4 of the last 5 batters.
We bring up Eric Tebow, the center fielder. And the pitch goes outside, but misses.
Sharper drop there on that breaking ball.
Officer Kavanaugh to the concession stand. Officer Kavanaugh.
Another one, low and outside. 2-0, Tebow. Number 9 hitter. And
Thompson. Make it Smith calls timeout now and comes out to talk to Hagar.
You don't want to walk the number 9 hitter. Because leadoff batter Sven Anderson, the catcher, is on deck. This looks like a game where we said earlier the runs are going to come hard. Strike call. 2-1. Just a little bit high. 3 balls and a strike to Tebow.
Tebow being patient at the plate now. Had the 2-1 fastball up in the strike zone, a little too high.
Only batter allowed on base was Rob Bolduc, who drew a walk. And the second batter now, Eric Tebow, walks with 1 out here in the 3rd. So the only 2 batters have reached have been on walks. I think Hagar walked a few people in his first game, maybe 6 or something like that. So, but he was able to get out of it.
Had some trouble with the walk, some wildness. But when he needed to be tough, he was tough.
Pitch. It's a ball. We get fairly good amount of fans out there in left center field as the throw goes to first. I was taken aback. I should realize that Frank Du Bois always points no matter whether the play is safe or out, and I was anticipating him to come up with the right hand.
He looked like he was about to ring up Tebow at first, but called him safe on the dive.
Well, he very well probably was safe, but it's the way Frank does. I've got to realize when I see him with that, but it looked almost like he was ready to go into the pumping motion. 0-1 the count. Hager to the plate, and the pitch gets away. And down to second goes Tebow. Let's call that a wild pitch, I guess. As he got away from the catcher, Blackie Smith, and rolled all the way over to the dugout, the third base dugout, the Messinic dugout.
Caught the foot of Smith and bounced towards the third base dugout. A long run for Smith, hustled after it, held Tebow at second base.
One and one the count. More importantly, the runner on second, Tebow. And the pitch, and it's going out to left field, and the catch is made out there. Sort of a soft liner, and hustling after it was Scott Wilbersmith.
Now batting the shortstop, Jason Govan.
2 down here in the bottom of the third inning as Jason Govan steps to the plate.
Govan's one of their top hitters. He has a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, a chance to break on top if he can come through with a hit, but as we said, Hagar has been tough.
Anderson, who just went out, had flied to center his first time out on a nice catch. And this time goes out to left, and Govan popped to second in the first inning. This scoreless game here, Class M Championship Baseball. You're watching it on New England Cablevision Channel 3. The strike called. I'm Pete Barker, along with Kevin Connolly.
Our sponsors are Farmington National Bank, Cameron's Home and Garden Center, Marie's Place in downtown Farmington, Ernie's Gas and Tire, Osgood Pharmacy, and Bolaway Lanes. Special thanks go out to them for coming through at the last minute.
Certainly do. Without their support, without your support, we would not be able to bring you this game. And I guess the response was overwhelming to get the support, and we thank everybody very much. We're certainly happy to do it. As the pitch by Hager rides outside. You and I, Kevin, of course, have been tied up with Spalding, and you doing some Somersworth games this year. You and I did the Spalding games together and had some exciting times, and it's nice to see nearby where we've done some basketball, the Tigers. Don't get a chance to do them in baseball, but certainly nice to do it this time.
They've really made a name for themselves this year. Dave Wims, and I believe his second year of coaching the Farmington team.
Who knows? This forebearer of things to come, good things to come for Tiger baseball. Have a pretty strong Babe Ruth program up there in the summer that develops the youngsters. 2 balls and a strike, the count on Govan. And the delivery, strike 2 call.
Govan didn't like that call. Hagar came with a fastball, kept it just at the knees and on the outside part of the plate.
And the pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. So Hager gets Jason Govan to go down swinging. Messinic leaves a runner at second as we go to the 4th inning in this scoreless tie between Farmington and Messinic. We're ready for the top half of the 4th inning. No score between Farmington and Messinic. Class M Championship baseball action here at Memorial Park in Laconia. Aaron Hager leads it off and lines it down towards the left field corner. He's going to have to hold. Nice hustle down there by the left fielder, Lee Strout. But boy, he took off to that first pitch, sort of inside, Kevin, and get Farmington going.
Hagar having a heck of a day so far, has 2 hits, both solid line shots. The first time going up the middle, this time pulling it down the left field line. Hagar's on with the 2nd hit of the game, and he's held the Vikings hitless so far.
And here's Ted Healy, who lined out to left center in the first inning. So Hagar 2 for 2, as you said, the only 2 of the 3 hits in the game. Farmington has 3. Go to first, not in time. One thing the Tigers want to be careful of here is not get picked off or get leaning the wrong way. This, as we said, runs will be precious in this contest. Again to first.
That first run will be a big run for either team, breaking the ice and really getting the confidence, because you know you have the solid pitching on both sides and you have deep pitching coming from both sides.
Mormon in on the edge of the grass, a drive going out to center, and that will be caught out there for the first out. So Healy again goes out to center.
Twice in a row, Healy's gone there. If he puts that ball in the gap, he has extra bases. Hagar with good speed winds up on third, if not scoring. So you have some trouble for the Vikings, but again, Healy hitting the ball on the nose, but right at the center fielder.
The lights are coming on here at Memorial Park, which may change the way you look at a fly ball. But here's Rob Dion. Struck out swinging in the second inning. One down here in the fourth. Hagar on first. And looked like a pitch out.
It was a pitch out. The bunt, the sacrifice bunt was on, and Dion elected to go after it even though it was out of the strike zone.
Well, I was going to say that at this stage of the game, the way things have been going, the offense hasn't been generated by either club because of the good pitching by Bolduc and Hagar. You're going to have to lay down a bunt somewhere along the line and try to get that runner in scoring position.
Ideally, you like to do it with no outs, but with the number 4 hitter up, Healy, you're not going to sacrifice, and he hits the ball well, has twice in this game, and now they elect with 1 out, Dion bunting, but then you have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, which puts a lot of pressure on the next batter, Sylvain.
And again, pitching out, and they throw it away down the right field line. Hager's going to go to second, and he'll hold up there. So they went to the well one too many times, did Messinic.
They tried to do the pitch out. Nothing happened on the pitch out, and it was forced by Anderson, the catcher. He didn't want to just go with the pitch out. He wanted to try to create some action, trying to pick off Hagar. There was really no play there, and it gets by the first baseman. So the sacrifice can be excused now. They can allow Dion to hit away.
With a 1-1 count on the senior right fielder for the Farmington Tigers. And he does bunt, though, and it's caught as they wanted him to bunt, and it was grabbed in foul territory by the first baseman. Chris Tebow came in.
Had the runner in scoring position. Dion elected to try to bunt, push it up the first baseline, but got it in the air and allowed the catch to be made by Tebow.
Tigers probably figuring if you get him to third, you can possibly score on a wild pitch. Or maybe surprise the defense and beat it out. And the pitch, first pitch is popped up, going out into shallow left center field, and the Tigers will lead it 1-0. Larry Sylvain went for the first pitch. He went out into no man's land in shallow left center, and crossing the plate is Aaron Hagar, so that error proves crucial for Messinic.
Certainly does, and the error allowing Hagar to move up to second base, and then you get the bloop single in no man's land. Govan going after it, center field to Tebow coming on. Neither one can make the play. Hagar comes in to score with the 2 outs.
Oh, as you said, a looper. And here's Darren Martineau, who doubled down the left field line with 2 outs in the second, was left stranded. So a break for the Tigers on that error, but they made it as Hagar had come up and let off and ripped a line single down the left field line.
The first time in the game that the Tigers had a runner on base with less than 2 outs.
There goes the runner, the throw down, and they have it. Caught stealing, catcher to shortstop was Sylvain, but the Tigers break the scoring ice, picking up a run on a couple of hits, and Farmington leads it 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth inning here, and there's part of the Farmington crowd, and I believe that's Don McDonald of Farmington Girls Basketball fame in the picture.
There's quite a few ex and present Farmington athletes here.
As we said, we already seen Dan Place in the crowd. I think we're right in assuming that it's Cheryl Chase's birthday. Happy birthday, Cheryl.
It was wished over the PA.
Cheryl Chase, of course, taking over as the athletic director next season for the Farmington's high school. Some will continue on as girls basketball coach, a program that has certainly brought a lot of pride since she's been there. Ground ball second, and one out as Bolduc let it off. It's one up and one down. Rob Bolduc now has walked and grounded his second. Here's Chris Tebow, who struck out swinging in the first inning. Swing and a miss for strike one. Lee Strout, the left fielder, will be the third hitter in this inning. So the Tigers lead it 1-0.
There hasn't been a Viking to really hit the ball hard off Hager yet. They've had a couple of soft hits, some that look like they could be trouble. That last one not hit hard at all by Bolduc, but a fairly tough play. Martineau has to come in and make the quick play.
Swung on and missed. I looked like a high fastball, and he went for it 1-2. So Hager continuing the excellent pitching he's had in the postseason.
He's just been dominating. He's doing it offensively with 2 hits and a run scored, and on the mound been tough.
Just misses inside. 2-2. Pitch down low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full on Tebow. Certainly not right now. The weather's cooled off, so nobody's going to strain because of heat. The sun looks like it has gone down.
The wind has let up somewhat, but it's still blowing from right to left field.
And the pitch swung on right back to the mound. Hager will play to first. He took his time and he got the out. Walked over there. 2 up, 2 down for Messinic in the bottom of the 4th. And that will bring Lee Strout to the plate. A victim of a swinging strikeout leading off the 2nd inning for Messinic.
That was the hardest hit ball in the game for the Vikings so far, right back up the middle. If that gets by Hager, that's a base hit. The first of the game by the Vikings possibly, but Hagar snares it and takes his time with the out to first.
And it's a strike called on the outside corner. Two out in the inning. Strike 2 called. No balls, 2 strikes to count with 2 outs. Lee Strout is the hitter.
Hagar has been commanding with both the fastball and curveball, so it's pretty much a guessing game right now for Strout.
Mixes him up, location, and right down the middle that time, and struck him out swinging. Aaron Hagar has not allowed a hit through 4 innings, and through 4 innings of play in this Class M baseball championship game, Farmington 1, Messinic nothing.
There you see some of the fans. Again, an excellent crowd here. A very large crowd coming behind the home plate fence, going down the lines towards the dugout. And the Farmington Tigers hoping to push a couple more runs across.
Well, I'll tell you, the Farmington fans really wanting to make sure that that Cheryl Chase gets a birthday wish.
His birthday's tomorrow.
Well, we're in the top of the 5th inning here at Memorial Park in Laconia, as we've got Darren Martineau, who again was left at the plate, and Larry Sylvain was caught stealing for the 3rd out of that 4th inning. The big 4th inning, as it stands now, is the Tigers leading it 1-0. So Martineau, as we said, takes a strike He doubled with 2 outs, doubled down the left field line in the second inning, but was left stranded. Swing and a miss. Oh, 0-2 the count on Martin. No, the pitch is a ball.
Bolduc has allowed 4 hits. They put a couple hits together in the 4th inning, and Farmington scored. They had a single in the first and a double in the second.
And inside for a ball. This tournament, quarterfinal, semis, and this final here was played here at Laconia. All in its entirety this year. Certain years they used to play them at a couple sites and spread them around, but this year it's been played at all in its entirety beyond the first round. First round is played at the sites of the highest seeded teams to get it down to the final 8 when they go quarter, semi, and final. And strike 3 called. So Bolduc really hasn't pitched that badly.
Picks up his 5th strikeout of the game.
Allowed 3 hits. 4 hits, right. You're right, it is 4 hits. 2 in that last inning by Hagar and the big one by Sylvain. As Scott Wilbur-Smith, the left fielder, comes up. Wilbur wound up striking out, swinging in the second. Got a bunt. Nicely placed on the third baseline. Bolduc to first, not in time, as Wilbur-Smith slides into first. And he put it right in the place as Bolduc had to come way off the mound. It was on the dirt pot. Excellently placed, Kevin.
Perfect bunt. Smith elects to give himself up early with the bunt. Usually on a base hit, you'll hold it a little longer. But with the placement of that bunt, kept it on the grass near the line. Forced the third baseman, the pitcher, to have to come in and field it. And by the time they did, Wilbur slides in safe at first.
And he had it beat, but nice slide, hit first slide, gets him in there. And here's Brian Ferlin, the shortstop, struck out swinging in the third.
Smith shook up somewhat in the play.
Looked at by his coach and Frank Du Bois of Dover.
I believe it was his left leg somewhat, maybe the knee, as he went down in the dirt.
Now let's see what Ferlin has in store. Bolduc will go first. Runners are going to have to play it pretty close to the vest at this point because the pitchers have been throwing over there. And another throw to first.
Trying to keep Smith close at first base.
Aaron Rupert, please return to your seat. Aaron Rupert, return to your seat.
There's 1 out. Smith on first base. They used the stolen base last inning but got picked off as Sylvain was trying to steal second.
Pitch and another bunt down the third baseline. This time will be fielded. They'll go to first in time as the third baseman, Moorman, was on the edge of the grass as it was, and it was bunted slightly hard to him. He picked it up, but a sacrifice, a good one nevertheless, by Ferlin.
Ferlin held that sacrifice longer than Wilbur Smith held his, and he comes with the bunt, perfect bunt, just a little hard. Third baseman's playing it anyways, and Moorman makes the throw across the diamond to get Ferlin.
They'll bring up Scott Blackie Smith with the runner on second in Scott Wilbur-Smith. So the two Smiths have a chance to do something here.
Every inning in the ball game so far, Farmington has had a base runner.
And he's going to pop it up in the infield to be easily handled at second. And that will end the top of the 5th inning for the Farmington Tigers. They leave 1 with 1 hit as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Farmington 1, Messinic nothing. All right, and here we are. Right there.
You can catch some of us through the doorway.
Some of us here in the press box. You see our PA announcer, Brett Sartak, here.
Not a real large press box, but the luxury of having a press box. There's 3 of us up here.
But we're certainly enjoying this ball game, Kevin. There's no doubt about that. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Farmington leading Messinic 1-0 in Class M baseball championship game.
Aaron Hagar has been the difference in this game so far. He's allowed just 2 base runners, both on walks.
Now
he's not allowed a hit, also.
Having pitched 11 consecutive hitless innings in playoff competition. And again, another shot of the crowd here. I see Butch Lewis, former coach and timekeeper of basketball games at Farmington High School. As we said, Cheryl Chase is here. Mike Lee is here. Dan Place is here, and Don McDonald is here, and a host of others. We don't want to, I'm sure that every athlete at Farmington High School is here.
Oh, they love their sports, and once you're a Tiger, you're always a Tiger, no matter what you do after you graduate.
If there are
Great loyalty.
If there are any Saturday work assignments, I think they were delayed for a while. This is not a work day for people in Farmington. Ground ball right side, picked up and handled by Healy. That was Peter Moorman, the 3rd baseman, going out, first baseman unassisted.
Now batting the right fielder, Dan Elston.
Dan Elston, the right fielder, steps to the plate. Again, we want to thank the Sartecs, Paul Sartek, the tournament director, and Brett, his son, the PA announcer here, for providing us room and helping us here in the press box.
Did some nifty maneuvering to allow us to be up here, and also our sponsors.
Swing and a miss by Elston.
Farmington National Bank and Cameron's Home and Garden Center, along with Marie's Place in downtown Farmington, Ernie's Gas and Tire, Osgood Pharmacy, and Bowlaway Lanes.
Many, many thanks. As he went through strike 2. They really don't know what Hager's going to do because Hager locates so well. He'll come with a curve or a fastball inside, outside, and then try to challenge them down the middle. Let's see what he does on 0-2. Goes outside, misses, 1-2.
Great placement with the 0-2 fastball. Keeps it just outside, trying to get Elston to go after it.
Caught the inside corner. The curve, he backed away from it originally, and it caught the corner for a strike 3 called.
7th strikeout in the game so far for Hagar. Just been dominating on the mound. They've only hit 1 hard ball off him so far, and he fielded that one himself.
Elston is a junior that just went down, and here's Josh Cavalia. Pitch just missed. One and 0 the count to Cavalia. He's the number 8 hitter in the lineup. The pitch, swing and a miss. Hager gets 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. As it's getting down to nitty-gritty time here in this ball game. Was up high and outside. 2-1. Hasn't thrown that many pitches. As you said, has only walked a couple, so he should be fairly strong.
Had the 8 days off as well, so the arm well rested.
That time he got him on a wicked breaking pitch.
Hagar didn't have much support in the Newport win as they won 2-1. Offensive support, that is.
And the pitch outside, just a little high, 3-2. Well, that's why he's really got to be kind of tough, because you said he only won that one 2-1. And the delivery, strike 3 call to the outside corner. So Hagar, through 5 innings, has only walked 2 batters, not allowed any other runners, and his Farmington Tigers have a 1-0 lead over Massenic in this Class M championship baseball game here at Memorial Park in Laconia. And that's it as we go to the 6th inning. Farmington 1, Massenic 0. Top of the 6th inning here at Memorial Park in Laconia. It's 1-0 for Farmington. And for the Tigers, it will be John Thompson, the third baseman, Aaron Hagar, the pitcher, and Ted Healy, the first baseman. First 3 hitters who will be facing Rob Bolduc, who was allowed 5 hits and 1 run.
Good part of the order coming up now with Thompson, Hagar, and Healy. Hagar and Healy have hit the ball really well today.
Well, Thompson actually did hit it well, but it was foul. As we know, that around the bases trip, the foul round tripper in the first inning, a ball that was actually hit pretty deep and just curved foul. I think it hit the building out there in back of left field. And the pitch. And it's a ball, 2-0. A good time now for the Tigers to try to, with this lineup coming up, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th hitters, to try to get another run or 2 across if they possibly could. Pitch, strike call.
Thompson taking all the way, bluffing at the bunt, trying to cross up Bolduc on the mound.
I'm Pete Barker along with Kevin Connolly, John Rodenhouse, Paul Mannion, the directors, and Ryan McGargan and Greg Burns, our camera people tonight. And it's low.
This could be a troublesome inning for Bolduc in the Vikings if he allows Thompson to walk to lead off this inning, because you have some tough hitters coming up next.
And Hagar and Healy is the pitch, and it is ball 4. Wondering if the Tigers will want to try to bunt them along.
Not with Hagar.
Probably not with Hagar. You're probably right.
Hagar's ripped the ball twice in a row. I doubt they'll even go to the stolen base situation with Hagar up, because you hate to have yourself run out of an inning. I guess they would just let Hagar hit away. Hagar hits the ball so hard, if he hits it at an infielder, there's possible for a pretty easy double play with the ball hit so hard. But again, Hagar stinging the ball twice in a row. You want to let him hit away with the runner on.
Then you got Healy, who was hit well in back of him, but he is going to bunt. He bunts it to the left side, and just in all that figuring, I was thinking in the back of my mind, Kevin, that he probably would do it after all we said.
They're playing for the run.
Right. So it was a good bunt, not too deep, to the right side of the mound, left side of the infield, and the pitcher had to come off to make the play, but a perfect sacrifice bunt by Hagar, bringing up Healy, the first baseman, who's lined twice out to, actually lined to left center the first time, the center fielder, and then hit it pretty deep to the center fielder again in the 4th inning. Center fielder being Eric Tebow for Massenic.
Tebow playing deep in center now. All the outfielders playing pretty deep.
And the pitch, and he swings away, ground ball to short. First pitch, throws to first, 2 down, but the runner goes to 3rd.
They get the out. It's a big out. Ball hit towards the middle. Nice range by Govan, making the play to first. On the play, Thompson moves over to 3rd base, but with the 2 outs, they need a wild pitch or a base hit.
Or a surprise bunt. But I don't think they'd go to that route at this point. But Dion's up. The 5th hitter in the lineup was Sylvain on deck. So we'll see what they do. There's the pitch. He swings and misses for a strike. Nice little curve. Nice little, maybe a changeup that Bolduc threw.
He's really had Dion off balance on that breaking ball. Last time Dion went to the bunt, popped it up to the first baseman.
And the lights are on here at Memorial Park. They're on in that other field, the adjacent field. I'm sure this complex is pretty busy during the summer.
Dion talking with the third base coach. 2 outs, I doubt there'll be any plays on. The first baseman is playing in really shallow, and third baseman on the grass. First baseman's in about 5 steps off the grass.
There's the delivery, swung on, it's going to be a little looper, and it's caught out there in right center field. Well, the right fielder, Elston, was able to get to it, which ends the inning for Farmington. And as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, the Tigers lead it 1-0.
Cameron's Home and Garden Center, Route 11 in Farmington. Quality lumber and building materials for small projects as well as large. For all your building needs. Cameron's is your full-service hardware store, including plumbing and electrical supplies, plus tools, masonry, and stove accessories. And remember that Cameron's has all the paint and stain you'll ever need. The only name you need to know for quality building materials is Cameron's Home and Garden Center, Route 11 in Farmington.
Eric Tebow, the center fielder, leads the 6th inning off for Massinic Regional Vikings. A bunt to the left side. A nice bunt. The throw to first, not in time. A drag bunt that Hager couldn't get to, the only chance. And that's a base hit. Derek Martineau couldn't get to it. The no-hit string is broken, as that's the first hit Hager has given up through 12 innings.
Comes in the 13th inning, actually, so he's pitched.
Right.
12 innings of hitless ball in this playoff series, and they still have a game on their hand as well, so he gives up a hit in the 6th. Close play at first base. Hager trying to erase Tebow right away. Goes over to Healy with the quick tag, but Tebow just back underneath the tag.
Oh, and it comes from the number 9 hitter. Also, Eric Tebow. His Sven Anderson, the leadoff hitter and the catcher, and he's going to try bunting. So it looks like Massinic head coach Bob Caswell has decided that they're not going to be able to hit Hagar, so you're going to have to make the Tigers play the ball.
Well, they're playing for the 1 run right now. They're going to try to give up the out with Anderson, go with the sacrifice bunt, and you put a runner in scoring position with 1 out, and it's a tying run. So they're playing for this 1 run right now to tie this game up.
Now Sven Anderson, the catcher, fly to left, fly to center, fly to center back in the 1st, to left in the 3rd. And let's see what happens here in the bottom of the 6th as Farmington leads it 1-0. There's the delivery. Bonin is popped up, grabbed at third by the third baseman. John Thompson was right there to take it.
Thompson was playing well into the grass area. Came in hard as Anderson squared around, and once the bunt was in the air at all, he hauled it in and made the play.
Here's Jason Govan, the shortstop, 0 for 2. Popped to second in the 1st, struck out swinging in the 3rd. And the pitch swung on and missed. The no-hitter really doesn't mean anything, I'm sure, to Aaron Hagar and his teammates. They'd like to get the win now, I think.
Oh, they want the state title right now. That no-hitter is in the back of their minds. That doesn't mean anything.
Pitch is fouled directly back off a post, support post of the backstop. Well, actually, they had a no-hitter, a one-hitter, and a two-hitter, so hits have been allowed by the Tigers in this tournament. But as we said, Hagar had pitched a no-hitter in his first game and no hits through 5 innings in this game. Now he has 1 out, runner on first, and an 0-2 count on Jason Govan. Number 2 hitter for the Massinic Regional High School Vikings. He'll pop it up and out into very shallow left field, and it's another hit, and it dropped in no man's land there as Scott Wilbersmith came in for it. Couldn't get to it.
Ferlin at short was playing in, close in, playing double play depth, well in towards the dirt. Here you see Ferlin, he was breaking to the bag as well. Had to change and try to get out there to play what would be a normal pop fly for the shortstop, but as he was breaking to the bag, that ball drops in for a base hit.
And the batter is Rob Bolduc, the pitcher. A walk and a grounded to second. So excitement is rising here, is building here at Memorial Park in Laconia. As we got a threat by Messina, fouls it off. They have 1 out and 2 on.
That ball fouled off towards the dugout down the first baseline. Shows that Bolduc did not get around at all on that fastball by Hagar.
And the pitch grounded to third. Thompson will go over, step on first, throw over to first, double play! John Thompson pulls off a double play, and the Farmington Tigers escape damage here in the bottom of the 6th inning. What a play by John Thompson, as the Farmington Tigers go into the 7th inning, lead Messina 1-0. Top of the 7th inning. Great excitement, bottom of the 6th. That double play, John Thompson grabbing the ground, stepping on the bag and throwing to first.
Excellent play, set up first of all by a couple of hits. The drag bunt down towards the second baseman, and then the bloop single to left field. Hagar's first 2 hits of the tournament. Runners at first and second, and then a great play. Thompson, ball's hit off the bag, makes a nice play, steps on third, fires to first, and just gets the runner. Close play, and that stretch by Healy. He was doing a complete split, made the play. Excellent play, and Farmington gets out of damage, and that really pumped up this Farmington team and the crowd.
The team went wild, as you saw out there on the field, and that's going to bring up Larry Sylvain to lead off the top of the 7th. He's the center fielder, and he drove in the only run of this ball game. And it's a ball from Bolduc. But that really pumped up the Tigers, I'm sure.
Got them all fired up. They're smelling state championship now. They still have an inning to play and 3 outs on the Messina side to get first, but they really know they're close to the state's championship.
And the 2 hits were nothing to write home about. A drag bunt and a bleeder that would have been caught by Furlan at shortstop. And that's not making excuses if he hadn't gone to cover the bag on a hit and run play or on a steal attempt. So that would have, the bunt was legitimate. They couldn't get to that, but they certainly have not been able to do anything else. And a liner off the third baseman's glove for a base hit, and a hard shot by Larry Sylvain.
Sylvain picks up his second hit of the game. His first one more important, knocking in the only run of the game so far, but this one hit a lot more sharply. Crushed down the third baseline, the dive and the attempt at third base by Mormon, but he couldn't make it. Hits off his glove.
He said it hit off his glove, and we have a
timeout called at first base.
Timeout at first base.
With Frank Du Bois.
Pinch runner coming in, possibly?
I don't think so. They just called timeout. I'm not sure what it was about, but now they get everything squared away. You see the replay. Sylvain crushing it. Mormon didn't have to move that much, but the ball hit so hard, hooking away from him, gets by him. And Sylvain leads off the inning with a single.
Throw to first. And if I were the Tigers right now, I'd be very careful. Well, you got a 1-0 lead. You got momentum. You're in the 7th inning, and you don't want to kill a chance to score another run if it is the opportunity presents itself.
I suppose they'd go with the sacrifice bunt again, move him into scoring position. They pitch out.
Here's the throw down to second, and it took a bounce. In the dirt, a high bounce. It wasn't down low, and that's what enabled Sylvain to steal the base.
I think Farmington caught a break there. I don't think they were going with the straight-out steal. They were going with the sacrifice bunt. And on that, usually the runner waits to make sure the bunt is down on the ground. But Sylvain, maybe they did have the run and bunt play on. Sylvain broke for second base. The pitch out was there. Martineau pulled back as he should. And Sylvain picks up the stolen base. So with no outs, a big runner in scoring position.
Now you could bunt down the third baseline with the third baseman's playing back a little bit. Pitches up high, ball 2.
We have 3 chances now for the base hit to score the runner. You move him to third base, you give up an out, which I don't think would be the wisest decision. You let him hit away with a runner on second base. A base hit will score Sylvain.
Timeout has been called as the second baseman might have injured himself, the second baseman for Messinic.
I don't know if he caught the ball or anything in his face.
That's Josh Kavala.
They're looking at him right now.
Kivelay. Yeah.
Kivala being checked out.
Josh Kivala, you're right.
By Bob Coswell.
Kivala. Easy to pronounce as Sartek, right? Sartek's a little bit easier for some reason. Kivala, we got that right. Brett Sartek, as we mentioned, the PA announcer and the son of the tournament director, Paul Sartek. We want to thank him for our help up here today. And I guess something happened to him as we do have a timeout and a delay on the field, as you can see.
The way they're looking, it looks like a cut or maybe a bloody nose, but I don't see them trying to stop anything.
Try FHS. And we'll be back with more right after this.
Marie's Place is located in downtown.
As play is resuming, and Darren Martineau has the count in his favor, 2-0, and a pickoff play at second base as Bolduc whirls and throws. Now, right now, with Sylvain at second, after that single and the stolen base, the Tigers hoping to get another run. Pitch for a strike. Well, at this point, you're right, with Sylvain, or whether Martineau, Smith, and Ferland up, figuring they can get the run in.
They have 3 chances for the base hit.
If you could get it to the right side, you could advance the runner. If it's on the ground. Another pickoff attempt, but this time they threw to the shortstop.
Not much sense in that play there. I'm not sure why they did that. Maybe to fake. The only thing I can see is if you're going to do that and fake like the ball went to the outfield, try to get the runner off. But as soon as you turn and throw, the runner's on second base anyways, so you might as well throw it to the bag.
Here's the pitch. Swung on into the right side of the infield. Bobbled. Thrown to first in time. But that is exactly what they needed. They get the runner over. Just as good as a sacrifice by Darren Martineau, grounding out to second.
Excellent job of hitting by Martineau. That's what you want to do. First of all, you want to put the ball in play, and then you want to keep it to the right side, because with one out, you get Sylvain on third base, and there's a variety of things that can happen. You force the infield to come in. You force them to have to make the play. A sacrifice fly can score the run. There's a lot of options now for the Tigers. You also have the squeeze option if they want to go with it.
All right. I also bring up Scott Wilbur-Smith, the left fielder, as we have a conference between Bolduc and his shortstop, Govan.
And now
is it
Bob Coswell's coming out.
All right. A little bit of an infield conference.
He wants to discuss strategy right now. He wants to make sure the whole infield knows where they're going with the play. They have to cut down the run at home. This is the top of the 7th. They're trailing by 1 already. They have to cut down that runner at home if he goes. Ideally, you want the strikeout here in this situation, a pop-up to the infield or a ground ball right at someone where you can hold the runner and make the throw to first. But Farmington needs to put the ball in play here. They can have the luxury of a wild pitch scoring a run. You put the ball in play, you have a better chance to get a hit with the infield drawn in. A bloop single can drop, or you can hit it with not as much range for the infield as you can try to hit it in one of the gaps. But ideally, you just want to put the ball in play, force Messinic to make the play.
Bob Chavone, the home plate umpire, going out and just getting the troops together, but he was smiling about it. So you let them have their conference, and everything has been decided at this point. Obviously, Messinic playing against the suicide or the safety squeeze bunt.
They got the first baseman well in, the third baseman in on the grass as well.
And a drive to left field, going back on it, back. It's going to drop in and go to the fence, and Farmington will lead 2-0. And going into second with a double is Scott Wilbur-Smith.
Big hit by Wilbur. He got a fastball. Perhaps the whole Messinic team looking for the squeeze, gets a fastball and drives it to left field, over the left fielder's head. That was a run no matter what, even if it was caught, but Smith crushes that ball to left field. Strout going back on it. He just has to turn and run. One hop off the fence. And a big hit by Scott Wilbur-Smith. Drives home the second run of the game, Sylvain.
As I was going to say, Kevin, excuse the interruption, boy, did he crush that. You're right. The first pitch, he went right to it, and you knew the run would score. And funny, Sylvain held up until it dropped there, because if it had been caught, he would have tagged, and he easily just romped in. He didn't have any sweat at all coming in, and a big hit, as you said. And the Tigers getting a good run that they might need. You never know.
It's a big second run.
Certainly a big second run for Aaron Hagar. And the inning is still continuing with one out and a runner on second. And the pitch gets away, and they won't throw to third. I guess we could give that another wild pitch.
So you have the same situation now with the one out. You can play for the third run, which is big. Try to get the ball into the outfield.
Well, Ferlin is the batter. Brian Ferlin struck out and a sacrifice bunt.
And now Messinic will have to draw the infield in once again.
So any ground ball is, unless it's hit directly at an infielder, is going to probably get through. If it's back up the middle, it's definitely through. Here comes Bolduc's pitch, and he swings and misses. 0-2. That was a good curveball. Now, a big run for the Tigers, because we said runs were scarce in this game, and any run is a big run, but certainly a big run in the top of the seventh after the way they got out of that sixth inning.
They really got them pumped up for this inning.
And the pitch up high.
Messinic pitched out on that one there. They were expecting the squeeze. They had no 2 count on Ferlin, so if he did try to bunt, it would have to be put in play or he would be out on strikes. So they pitch out expecting something up. A good chance to pitch out 0-2 count, and you can waste the pitch.
Wouldn't think he would have tried to do it on an 0-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled as it goes back to the screen. With the Tigers up 2-0 here in the top of the seventh inning at Memorial Park in Laconia. Class M baseball championship game. And time is called.
Catcher's going out to talk to Bolduc now. Anderson.
The winning number in the 50-50 raffle.
Govan also coming in.
1, 4, 5, 3, 8, 9.
They're up in the count 1-2 with one out.
4, 5, 3, 8, 9. Collect your money at the concession stand.
Not sure what they're discussing right now. They up in the count 1-2. They're not changing signs, I wouldn't say.
Well, now again, Bob Chavone has to go out to the mound and say that's a little bit too long, boys.
Perhaps the play if trying to pick off the runner at third, but I would judge they would just go right after the batter with the 1-2 count.
I would think so. They really need to get him out of here. Another run would be totally disastrous for Messinic, but the Tigers up 2-0 as it is right now. And they're going to throw to third.
Perhaps that was the play they just discussed right there.
Anticipating a suicide, but it has happened with 2 strikes on the batter, but it just doesn't look like it's something that's in the plans right now.
No, not right now. It depends how much confidence you have in your hitter. He has to be able to be an excellent bunter to put the bunt down.
Here's the pitch to Ferlin. Swings and misses, strike 3, and as we said, it wasn't going to go. They had him hitting away.
It's a big out for Messinic now. They can take their infield back. They just need to make the play at first with the 2 outs.
Batting the leadoff batter, the catcher, Blackie Smith.
Here's Scott Blackie Smith, the catcher, with 2 down, a runner on third, and a 2-0 lead for the Farmington Tigers in the top of the 7th inning. Smith 0 for 3. The pitch looked like it, well, no, it couldn't have been pitching out on that.
Broke in the dirt outside.
Smith is grounded to short. Went out pitcher to first and popped to second. Comes in. A little soft curve. And the delivery goes outside. Being very careful. He's not trying to challenge Smith. He's sort of, looks like he's throwing the breaking stuff.
Surprising because it gets even dangerous after Smith. You go into the 2, 3, and 4 batters, and then you get in deep trouble. He could be tiring someone. He's trying to aim the ball, it looks.
And the pitch, and it's ball 4. Ball 4 to Scott Blackie Smith. And that's going to bring up John Thompson.
The hammer, John Thompson.
And they've even got Brett Sartek, the PA announcer, talking about the hammer.
Scott Wilbur Smith pointing.
He obviously was asked to talk about him. Go ahead.
Scott Wilbur Smith pointing to Thompson, telling him to drive me home.
I'll tell you, the hammer would certainly like to hammer one out of here or any place right now to get that third run. The wind has died down almost completely.
Yeah, it's just about dead now as the flag in center field is still.
Cooled off here a little bit in the Lakes region, but not too much. Very, very pleasant. Couldn't really ask for a better day for baseball. And a sharp ground ball foul down through the third base coach's box. We have Scott Wilbur Smith on third. Had that big RBI double that drove in Sylvain, who drove in the lead run. So Sylvain has figured in 2 runs, the 2 runs here tonight. And Scott Blackie Smith, who walked, is on first. I was thinking this would be as good a time as any to try that old trick of drawing them off first, the double steal thing where you score while they run you down. But normally, you just let him go and not fall for that.
Breaks up a force play if you do get the guy into second base, also at second base on a grounder.
And it's popped up in foul territory, and the catcher did not see it. Went off his glove.
Anderson never saw it. It came up in the air. Messinic pitcher Bolduc was trying to yell and point it out. He picked it up too late, tried to make a nice effort. Made a nice effort on the diving attempt. Hit off his glove.
Oh, 0-2 the count to Thompson. Here's the pitch, swung on, line! Oh, what a catch by the shortstop. Could have gone in. He had to make the diving catch. Robbed Thompson of a hit. But that's it. As Farmington scores a run, they lead 2-0. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Farmington 2, Messinic nothing. Bottom of the 7th inning. Here you see it at Memorial Park in Laconia. Farmington 2, Messinic nothing. The Farmington Tigers in their first championship baseball game ever, hoping to get 3 outs. Chris Tebow leads it off. Struck out swinging, grounded to the mound. Takes a strike call. Tebow, Lee Strout, the left fielder, and Peter Mormon, the third baseman. Facing Aaron Hagar. Swung on and missed, strike 2.
Hagar has just been almost unhittable throughout the whole tournament. A couple of hits in this game, the only 2 throughout the whole tournament, both coming last inning.
0-2 the count to Tebow. Here's a delivery. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
9th strikeout of the game for Hagar. And Farmington's pumped up. They show their emotion on the field. Usually baseball teams don't show that. The fans the same way. They get into this, they jump around, they have fun, and it really shows throughout their whole team, the camaraderie and the excitement.
Well, we've been reading about
fun
that.
Into baseball.
It sure does. We've been reading about that, Kevin, that they did it after the first game, their first tournament win ever, and I think the catcher, Blackie Smith, trying to get that strike called. Here's Lee Strout, struck out swinging twice. Here comes Hagar's delivery, strike called.
Strout kind of crouching in the batter's box. He was taking a strike all the way there. He's looking, Messinic's looking to get some base runners, whether it's a walk or a hit.
Here's Hager's 1-1 delivery. Guts up high. 2-1. Hager going with the curve and the fastball. Mixing them up. And here's the pitch. This time he tried too much on it off the glove. 3-1.
Reared back on the 2-1 pitch, trying to really fire that one towards the outside corner. Gets away from him, so the count goes to 3-1.
On the batter, Lee Strout, with Peter Mormon, the third baseman, up next. There's his delivery. Swung on and missed, strike 2.
This is a big out here. You don't want to put the tying run at the plate.
Never do that. And here comes the delivery. Strike 3 call. Got him on the inside corner. 2 down. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Hagar is pumped up on the mound. He wants to finish this one himself. Has 10 strikeouts in the game.
1 hit, 2 hits, 1 a bunt single, no runs, 2-0 Farmington, and then 1 out away from a Class M baseball championship, the first in the school's history.
We have a pinch hitter now, Chad Sari, coming up, number 12. Sari pinch hitting for Peter Mormon. That's a tough situation.
Sure
State title
is.
on the line. You bring up Sari.
Peter Mormon, Chad Sari. Number 12, Chad.
This place could explode as we get the Farmington fans in front of us and to our right and down the first baseline. And in the event of that third out, we will have a post-game interview with a happy bunch of Tigers. I think it's going to be one of the noisiest background interviews we're ever going to conduct, Kevin.
I'm sure it will be. We could have quite a few fans scattered in there, too.
Ball, as Will Smith looked back at the umpire and said, "Can't you give me that?" They want it badly right now. You know, and everybody rooting for Farmington, including the players, want this. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Sari really is in a tough situation.
He's a
as you
sophomore
said.
coming up to pinch hit with 2 outs. You haven't seen any pitching. You don't take batting practice before the game, so who knows when the last time he's faced live pitching is.
Pitches down low for a ball. Strike 2. Hager's looking.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Hagar could strike out the side, and now at the infield.
The crowd is on its feet here from Farmington at Memorial Park in Laconia. And we might get on it too. We're going to have to, if he does it, we're going to have to break, and then we'll be back with a post-game interview if he strikes him out.
Hagar going to try to finish this one himself, and Sari taking some time in the batter's box.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count. 1 strike away from a Class M baseball championship for Farmington. There it is! Farmington is the Class M baseball champions for 1991, beating Messinic 2-0 here at Memorial Park in Laconia. And we'll be back right after this. Well, we have a very happy and celebrating Farmington High baseball team here after winning the Class M championship, the first in the school's history. And head coach Dave Wim, did you ever think it would come true?
This was our goal all year. First we wanted a home playoff game, and once we got that, we wanted the state championship, and here it is. This is what we've been working for all year.
A team of destiny, maybe?
Team of destiny, sure. That sounds good to me.
And pitching rich, a team that you happen to be a manager that was able to go with the rotation, Aaron Henga and
Brian Furlan, Joey Vachon. Yeah, we've had the pitching all year. The defense has been there. The base running's been there all year. We've been hitting the ball. It's just everything's come together. It's tremendous. It's just tremendous. I'm so proud of these guys here. I don't even know what to say. They've worked very hard for this.
So really it's something that might hit you a little bit later.
I think so, yeah. I think when we get back to Farmington, it's quite a party waiting for us.
Yeah. Kevin?
First of all, I have Dave Hagar, the assistant coach, and what everyone talks about to win championships, you have to have pitching and defense. You guys allow 6 hits, I believe it was, throughout the whole tournament. You had the pitching and the defense, and that's what won it for you guys.
These guys have been terrific all year. They're going to be even better next year. I want to say a lot about our pitching, but you got to have that guy behind that plate too. He's an excellent catcher, and he's going to be here next year. And I know me and everybody else, all the people in Farmington and all the people that know all these people, these guys are terrific. And I couldn't be prouder of anyone or all at the same time. They're a terrific bunch of ball players, and it's elation right now. That's all I can say.
Yeah! Rob, you're one of the two seniors on the team, you and Ted Healy are the two seniors, and it must be a satisfying way to go out.
Yes, it is. I love it. Yeah, I love them all! Woo!
Aaron, your dominance on the mound today, you go 7 innings, you give up 2 walks, strike out 11, 2 hits, your first 2 hits of the whole tournament. And how'd you feel on the mound? It just must have been a dominating feeling out there.
Oh, I felt great out there. I knew I was going to do good the whole time, and it just felt good. After that first inning was over, I just knew it. And when we got that run, it just pumped me even more. And
don't be so serious. You did great, baby. Yeah.
And Ted Healy, you hold the plaque, and you guys, the one thing we did notice today, you guys have fun on the field. Whether it's on the field or in the dugout, you guys were pumped the whole way.
Yeah, we sure were. It's been great being with these guys all year. They couldn't have been better my senior year.
I miss you, Teddy.
State champs. Congratulations, guys.
I miss you, buddy. I miss you, Bill.
I want to thank you, Kevin Conley, for working with me and the whole crew. We want to thank the Farmington sponsors that came through in the pinch at the last moment for this game. Thank everyone, and gentlemen, enjoy it as Farmington wins their first state baseball championship in history. 2-0 over the Messinic Vikings. For everyone here at New England Cablevision Channel 12, I'm Pete Barker. Good night.